In what can only be described as an unbelievable scenes here at the T-Mobile Arena in Las Vegas, Canelo Álvarez was unable to come out for the 6th round against Terence Crawford. His cornermen shook their heads, the referee waved it off, and fans sat here in stunned silence trying to figure out how and why one of the toughest fighters in the world, a man that has stood toe-to-toe with the very best, Dmitry Bivol, Gennady Golovkin, Caleb Plant, even Floyd Mayweather, how could he be reduced to this? For his part, Crawford just stood over him in the middle of the ring, arms raised in victory, knowing full well he had produced one of the all-time great performances in the sport to defeat the pound-for-pound king. Now it's going to be a long night for Canelo, because apparently his people are going to try to drive him back to Guadalajara. And for a fighter who prides himself on toughness, it's a very long way to go, and a very tough journey when you've got no voice. You've got no pride, and you're probably going to be nursing a broken nose and a battered, bruised ego as well. How do you think Canelo lost his voice? Well, let me tell you. From the first bell, Terence Crawford came out here tonight and he boxed like a man possessed. He said before the fight that he was going to prove that he is the best pound-for-pound fighter in the world, and he certainly made a statement tonight in front of over 17,000 people here at the T-Mobile Arena. He dropped Canelo in the first round with a right uppercut that would have sent anyone else to the canvas, but Canelo somehow stayed on his feet. And then he weathered the storm, and for the remainder of the round, Crawford actually couldn't get his big power shots. But still, Canelo looked hurt. Still, Canelo was dazed from that uppercut. And then things started to unravel further in the second round. Crawford caught him with another right hand. It wasn't quite as bad as the first, but this time he followed up with a left hook and Canelo hit the canvas. This time he made it back up, but now he was clearly hurt. He was holding his nose. There was blood trickling down his mouth. Then in the third round, it all went horribly wrong for Canelo. He was wobbled again by a right hand, and he was hit with a barrage of punches while he was sitting on the stool. Referee Russell Mora actually docked Crawford a point for hitting a defenseless fighter. But even so, Canelo was badly hurt, and there were more warnings from the referee. And then finally, after about a minute into the fourth round, Canelo was dropped for a third time. But again, somehow he made it back to his feet. The crowd were now sensing blood. They could see that Canelo was hurt, and each time Crawford came forward, they roared with anticipation. Each time he threw a punch, they screamed in delight. It was like a sea of red. Everyone here supporting Crawford. Now, Canelo's cornermen were not happy with the performance of their fighter. They felt that he was getting badly beaten. They knew their man was hurting, and as I said before, they were shouting at him. They were gesticulating at him. They were trying everything they could to try and rouse him. And then came the fifth round, and the unthinkable happened. After about 30 seconds, Canelo's cornermen threw in the towel. They could take no more. They felt that their fighter was being badly beaten, and I don't blame them for that. No corner wants to see their man getting hit with punch after punch, and that's what was happening to Canelo. So they throw in the towel. But wait, what happens next? Well, I'll tell you what happened. The referee didn't pick it up. Maybe he was concentrating too much on Canelo, who by this time was slumped down on the stool. Maybe he was focusing on whether Canelo would come out or not. Whatever the reason, he didn't pick up the towel. He didn't see it, and Canelo's people were shouting, "He's done! He's done! He's done!" But the referee was asking, "Canelo, are you okay?" And Canelo tried to reply, but he couldn't speak. Remember, he had lost his voice in the third round. Now, believe it or not, I thought at that point that maybe Canelo would come out for the sixth round. He might have been badly hurt. He might have been badly beaten. But Eddie Hearn was pacing up and down in his corner. He was gesturing wildly. And I genuinely thought at that point that he was trying to convince Canelo to come out for the sixth round. But no, Canelo was gone. The referee waved it off. And after about 20 seconds, he was announced as the winner. Now, that was the official version of events. That's what we saw. That's what the TV cameras showed us. But then later, I was told by people around Canelo that they were trying to stop him from coming out for the sixth round because he was badly beaten. They felt he was taking too much punishment. And whether they were telling the truth or not, the bottom line is they did not want Canelo to come out for the sixth round. They felt he was taking too much punishment. And in all honesty, given what we had seen in the first 5 rounds, it's hard to argue with that. So maybe, just maybe, Canelo lost his voice, but his corner also lost their voice because they did not want their fighter to come out for the 6th round. As for Crawford, well, I said before the fight he was gonna put on a clinic. And that's exactly what he did. And then he was ruthless, he was relentless, and he was magnificent. He proved beyond any doubt that he is the best fighter in the world, pound for pound, and I cannot wait to see what he does next. I think the undisputed welterweight champion has now proved that he is the best in the world. He is the king of boxing right now, and whatever happens next, he deserves all the plaudits coming his way. As for Canelo, well, I said before the fight that if he lost, this would be the biggest upset in boxing history. And that still stands. He may have lost his voice, but the respect for him has not disappeared. He is still one of the best fighters in the world, even though he couldn't continue tonight. He is still a 4-division world champion. He is still pound for pound one of the best. This doesn't erase all of his previous achievements. But make no mistake, this loss will hurt him deeply. And whatever happens next, he will want to come back and prove that tonight was just a bad night at the office. One last word, though, to those people who are saying that this was a mismatch. This was a bad idea. Canelo shouldn't have taken this fight. Well, boxing is a sport of risks. And make no mistake, Canelo took the risks, but he took it voluntarily. I know that many people feel that Eddie Hearn should have done more to protect his fighter, but trust me, Canelo wanted this fight. He was the one that called out Crawford. He was the one that wanted to prove that he was the best. He was the one that wanted to show that he could beat the very best. And unfortunately for him, tonight he couldn't. But make no mistake, Canelo is a warrior, and he will come back from this. That is it from me. If you want to see more from me, check out my channel. And until next time, keep following for all the latest news in boxing.